Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rafaela. I'm an educational sociologist based in Tokyo, and I make content about academic wellness and post-PhD lifestyle. Since this is my very first video on YouTube, I decided to make a self-introduction video so that you can get to know me a little better. I have asked my followers on Instagram to send me some questions so that I can answer in my very first video. And thank you so much for those who have sent me the questions. So let's get started. So the very first question that I want to answer is, what inspired me to create content? I've been on Instagram for about 8 or 9 months, I think. I started in December last year. That was during my dissertation writing. And I just wanted a place for me to kind of escape from the reality, to be honest. I was living such an intense moment in my life, and it was really difficult for me to find fun in life, actually. And since I started romanticizing my life on the Instagram, I started feeling a little more on ease when it comes to my studies. In the beginning, I didn't have any followers like at all because I started the account from scratch. And I think it also helped me be a little more open to posting because I knew that there was nobody judging me. Yeah, but I continued posting because then eventually I started connecting with people from so many different countries, which is super cool because when you are in academia, you end up being surrounded by people who have very close interest to your research topic. But when I started posting on Instagram, I started connecting with people with so much diverse research background, which is super cool. I really enjoy watching other people's content. Before, when I was just working on my dissertation, I wasn't really comfortable seeing other PhD students' content. For example, on YouTube, I've seen that there are many PhD students or professionals that they're posting about like how to write papers, this and that. And I was not really comfortable watching those because I felt like I was behind because I didn't really know how to write a proper paper. So I think for a moment I was really having this distance from people outside of my circle so I won't be feeling uncomfortable. But then when I started posting on my social media and I started connecting with people, I started feeling so much more motivated, and people were like, go, 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 because I was posting my process of finishing my PhD. I also posted about my graduation, and people were so happy for me, and I couldn't be happier with that fact. So thank you so much for all of those who have been following me on Instagram. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional. And I really hope you will stick around so we can continue hanging out. Honestly, though, when I finished my PhD, I wasn't really sure what to talk about on my social media because the goal of my content creation is really, like I said in the beginning, academic wellness. So I didn't really want to be posting a lot about my work, this and that. I actually wanted to raise this awareness that we academics, and not just academics, but busy people in general who love studying specifically, we end up like losing control of our time, our energy, and all that. So I really wanted to bring this awareness to the social media platform. And I also wanted to show people how it's like after you finish PhD, because that's something that I couldn't really imagine myself how life would be like. I have also done a lot of journaling so that I can imagine what is like my dream post-PhD life. And I will be sharing my journey of turning to that best version of myself. So I will be really happy if you could stick around, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And I would also love to get to know you as well. What inspired you to follow me? That way I can know what it's like you really want to see in my channel, on my Instagram. So I will be waiting for your comments. Let's move on to the next question, which is, what is your field of research and how did you find your topic? I majored in education in my PhD, and I also studied about educational sociology and also about comparative education. Core research topic is immigrants and education, like broadly. and I focus on non-formal education, lifelong learning, well-being of immigrants, and how we as an immigrant can be part of the society through education. I'm a Brazilian living in Japan, so because of my background, I also focus on Brazilians in Japan, and I'm trying to do this comparative studies between Brazilians in Japan and also Brazilians living in other countries. I also have an interest in ethnic businesses. Most of this non-formal education that I have been following on my research are educational ethnic businesses. So I really have this interest in the ethnic businesses. So as you can see, my research topic is pretty much related to my background. And because of that, I'll be moving on to the third question, which is about my academic journey, so that I can also answer the question about how did I pick that topic. Before I start sharing my academic journey, I would like to share with you why is that I'm in Japan. And I see that a lot of people, they come to my account on Instagram and they think that I'm an international student, but no, I grew up in Japan. I came to Japan when I was 2 years old. And ever since, I've been living in Japan, and I studied my entire life in Japanese schools. So continuing my studies in Japan was something that was very natural for me. That said, my original goal in life wasn't to become a scholar at all. I actually wanted to become a flight attendant for a long time. I think I started thinking of becoming a flight attendant when I was 12, and I kept that dream until I was 21 or something. So I was very focused on learning English, and I also studied some Spanish in high school. I also did some study abroad as well. I did twice in high school for a short period, and then during university undergraduate program, I went to Poland for a longer period of time for 2 semesters. And that's when everything changed, because I started having this experience of researching. I was receiving a scholarship from the Japanese government to study abroad. And in that program, I had to come up with a proper study abroad plan, because I couldn't just simply study. I had to do something else aside from my studies. And at the time, I was working as part-time English teacher at a Brazilian school in Japan, which I will be talking about it in my future videos. And I was also volunteering, assisting some Brazilian students who were studying in Japanese school so that they could have better academic performance. And I was really curious about their academic journey. What is that helps them continue their studies or not? And because of that research interest, when I went to Poland, I did some field works. And by the way, I don't speak any Polish. If you might be thinking, I'm sorry. I did study a little bit, but it was such a huge failure. I'm sorry. Anyways, so my very close friend helped me with this research, and I really got interested in the research field. Interestingly, since I was always surrounded by immigrants who had difficulties continuing their studies, I've never met someone who did a master's or doctoral degree in my life. So I'm being honest, I didn't even know the existence of these courses. So when I studied abroad, I was like, oh my goodness, can I still continue studying? This is amazing. That's the first thing that came to my mind. So when I came back from my study abroad program, that's when I started preparing myself for the master's entrance exam, because here in Japan, you have to actually take an exam. So that's what got me into my research topic and also to my master's and doctoral degree. I think that's it for the questions. I don't want to keep this too long because I want to save some content ideas for the future. And let me know in the comments what is that you like the most about my story. What would you like to know more about myself as well? And also please leave me in the comments about what is that you do for a living, for studies. I will be really happy to connect with you. And I will see you in our next video.